Ashley look. Ashley's hands were shaking now. David, she's clearly having some kind of episode. We should call her doctor. My doctor. I laughed. Honey, the only person who needs medical attention is you. Specifically, a psychiatrist who can explain why you target men with elderly parents. David's face went from angry to confused. What are you talking about, Mom? I'm talking about the fact that your wife never loved you, son. She studied you. She researched our family, our finances, our vulnerabilities. She knew exactly what she was doing when she bumped into you at that coffee shop 3 years ago. The temperature in the yard seemed to drop 20 degrees. Ashley's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. That's not true, David said, but his voice lacked conviction. Oh, but it is. I smiled sweetly at Ashley. Should I tell them about the private investigator's report, dear, or would you like to explain yourself? That's when I realized I had them exactly where I wanted them. The birthday party guests scattered like leaves in a windstorm after my little announcement. Ashley locked herself in the bathroom. David paced the kitchen like a caged animal, and I sat on the back porch swing, feeling more alive than I had in years. Mom, you can't just make accusations like that, David said for the third time in 10 minutes. I sipped my fresh glass of iced tea and watched Tommy kick his soccer ball against the fence. That boy deserved to grow up in a household built on truth, not lies and manipulation. Accusations. I raised an eyebrow. Son, I haven't made any accusations yet. I simply suggested that Ashley might have some explaining to do. David ran his hands through his hair. The same nervous gesture he'd had since childhood. What private investigator? What report? You're not making any sense. Poor David. He really had no idea. Ashley had played him perfectly, and I'd watched it happen from the sidelines for 3 years, biting my tongue until it nearly bled. David, sit down. I patted the space beside me on the swing. Let me ask you something. When Ashley first met you, what did she say she did for work? He looked confused by the question. She was between jobs looking for something in marketing. And before that, she'd been caring for her elderly aunt in Florida. The aunt died and left her a small inheritance. I nodded slowly. Such a touching story, so believable, so complete nonsense. David, honey, there was no aunt in Florida. There was no inheritance. There was no marketing background. His face went white. How do you know that? I pulled my phone out again and scrolled to a particular email. Because I hired a real private investigator to look into your wife's background after some things started bothering me. What things? The bathroom door slammed upstairs.